In this tutorial we're going to look at the sections of Malaguena, as it introduces some new techniques to us that we won't have encountered before, so it's worth having a focus on these particular points. I'm not going to look at the chords in the first bar and the last bar at the moment. I'll add those in a separate tutorial. The first thing that really I want to mention, of course, is that we have some repetitive notes being played in the first two lines on the offbeat. We're going 1 and 2 and 3 and. It's just a high E on the first string. And I don't know if you could see there, but I played that with my middle finger. The text that's written in the piece is indicating index finger, which you can do, there's no problem with that. I just prefer a slightly bigger distance between my thumb and my middle finger when playing across the strings here. And that brings us to the point really that there's going to be no thumb planting in this piece, or very little of it, except in the middle section, because we're going to be using our thumb all the time. So the technique we're using here, I've explained it in the lesson. I often just call it tick-tock. We're playing with a thumb and then a finger, and these two fingers are just alternating thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb, finger. And what that will allow us to do is to get this kind of much faster feeling sound of 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. I've emphasised the high E note there, but in real terms the moving part, the more interesting part, of course, is the thumb playing this kind of chord sequence, giving us a feeling of a melody line going on there. So although I'll exaggerate the middle finger at the moment so we can hear it clearly, maybe when we're playing the piece we want to be thinking about having that high E just a little bit quiet. So it's just hidden in the background but giving it a rhythmic accompaniment. So I've talked about this tick-tock technique in the lessons, alternating. What it allows us to do, instead of playing the thumb and planting, as you know I'm a big fan of planting my thumb, what we'll do here, as soon as we play the thumb, the middle finger will snap onto the high string. So play my thumb, down goes my middle finger. When I play my middle finger, I snap my thumb on the next string. So taking away the left hand and just practicing that as a right hand technique, but only on two strings, just the fourth string and first string. If I play my thumb, I plant my middle finger, and you can hear the note cut. When I play my middle finger, my thumb went down again. So really, it feels like there's only one note ringing at any one time. And that means when my thumb is free in the air here, it's my middle finger that's providing stability. When I play my middle finger, the thumb goes back down again. We talked about in the lesson just practicing that on a pair of open strings, just to provide this feeling of sequential planting. When one has played, the other goes down in a sequence and plants. So sequential planting, one after the other, alternating planting if we want to give it another word. So all we have to think about here is playing across strings, 3 strings, 4, 3 and 2. We can practice that, of course, no left hand, just to take away the complication feel there, but when you're comfortable with that, we'll add the E and the G sharp in, and it's just nice and smoothly just moving the thumb down the strings with the middle finger just playing on the offbeat, on the ands there, and it just keeps replaying that chord sequence. First 2 bars, fingers 1 and 2 just move down to A and C, then we've got to a B, then an A, G, F, and then we start our sequence again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and then the chord. I'll look at those in more detail later on. That's the first section.